Jasper-based German-American Bank announces an upcoming merger. The Jasper Board of Public Works approves the sale of several city-owned land parcels. And Evan Elrod looks back at last night's Dubois County Bombers game ahead in sports. Those stories and much more are up next here on 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news, a Montgomery teen was killed following a vehicle versus horse-drawn cart crash near Graber Post buildings in Daviess County on Monday evening. Daviess County Sheriff's deputies say 17-year-old Tristan Wagler was southbound on County Road 900 East near Graber Post buildings just after 10:10 p.m. on Monday when deputies say he failed to see a horse-drawn cart owned by Mark Raber of Montgomery that was heading southbound with 4 younger girls on board. Deputies say Wagler swerved to the left, but it was too late and his truck hit the left rear corner of the cart. The impact threw all 4 girls off of the cart. One of the girls on the cart, 17-year-old Amy Wagler of Montgomery, was transported to Daviess Community Hospital and was later airlifted by air evac to St. Mary's Hospital in Evansville, where she succumbed to her injuries. No one else was injured in the crash. Deputies say the cart did have lights, and those lights were functioning at the time of the crash. The investigation is still ongoing. The Odin-Madison Volunteer Fire Department and the Daviess and Vanderburgh County Coroner's offices assisted. Jasper-based German-American Bancorp and Bloomington-based United Commerce Bancorp have announced that United Commerce will be merged into German-American. Under the terms of the new merger agreement, German-American common stock shares will be distributed to United Commerce shareholders at an exchange rate of roughly half a share of German-American stock for every 2/3 of a share of United Commerce stock. Based off of yesterday's closing price of German-American common shares at $25.94 per share and the value of UCBN's consolidated shareholder equity as of the end of June, that value would come out to be $15.86 per United Common Commerce share paid to United Commerce shareholders by German-American. United Commerce President and CEO Thomas Risen says the organization is thrilled to be partnering with German-American. He says the merger will give United Commerce the financial strength and operational capabilities to further their financial work in the Bloomington area. Completion of this merger is expected to take place during the 4th quarter of this year. The merger is subject to approval by both regulatory authorities and shareholders of United Commerce, among other closing conditions. Based on currently outstanding common shares of United Commerce stock, and assuming that German-American stock remains at $22.90 per share or higher, and common shareholders' equity for United Commerce is at least equal to the specified level of pricing, German-American says it anticipates issuing about 503,000 shares of its common stock and will absorb all issued and outstanding common shares of United Commerce that it doesn't currently own at a cost of $1,575,000. Yesterday morning, the Jasper Board of Public Works formally approved the sale of properties that are considered surplus property by the city. A public hearing was held on the sale of the properties at the beginning of the meeting, with some residents expressing concerns and other people expressing their interest in buying some of the surplus land. Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz says this property was an important part of the acquisition of the former Jasper Country Club property earlier this year. He says the properties now need to go back into the tax base for the city.
The leverage we had for looking at the Country Club property was the ability to be able to utilize and put back into the tax rolls properties that currently are owned by the city that have not been utilized or developed, and there are no formal plans for it currently. And that's how the properties have taken this road.
Seitz also gives credit to the City Council for their work in making this land plan for the city possible.
They put it in writing, and I think how wonderful to have these other properties to put back into the tax roll, to put them into service, to be able to essentially pay for the Country Club property, we hope, if they are sold, and then anything else outside of that and other monies we may have, we could look in building out this key asset. I think it's just a win-win.
In other news from yesterday's meeting, the board heard an update from Street Commissioner Ramey Eckerly concerning road work in the city. The board approved a contract with Pavement Solutions Incorporated for 30,890 square yards yards of supplies at $3.19 per square yard, pending Eckerly's review. Eckerly told the board that the project will cover 6 streets in the city, and the street department will be taking care of the liquid road phase, which is the second phase of the 3-phase street project. Eckerly says the microsurfacing and rejuvenator phases of the street work will be contracted out. Eckerly also told the board that construction work will be needed at 6th and Newton Streets after damage to a sidewalk during tree removal. Eckerly says though an overgrown tree in the area was successfully removed, the roots of the tree were so deep that the root ball severely damaged the sidewalk in the area and also caused some drainage issues. Finally, yesterday morning, the board formally approved street closures for the ISSMA State High School Band Competition to be hosted at Jasper this fall. The event is set to take place on October 12th, and 2nd Street near the Schroeder Complex will be closed on that date. An accident in Holland last night led to the arrest of a Kentucky man on intoxication charges. Dubois County Sheriff's deputies say 53-year-old Jody Norris of Sparta, Kentucky, and 39-year-old Jennifer Reller of Holland were both headed northbound on State Road 161 near Mary Street at 6:05 p.m. last night when the accident took place. Deputies say Reller slowed to make a westward turn onto Mary Street, but Norris stated that he could not slow down in time and hit Reller's car before Reller could make the turn. During the investigation, a deputy smelled alcohol on Norris, though Norris denied consuming any alcohol. A field sobriety test found Norris to be under the influence of alcohol, and Norris was taken to the Huntingburg Police Department, where a test confirmed that Norris was intoxicated with a BAC of 0.16%, twice the legal limit. Norris was lodged in the Dubois County Security Center on operating while intoxicated charges. Reller complained of neck and back pain and was taken to Memorial Hospital, where she was treated and released. Holland first responders, Holland town marshals, and Memorial Hospital EMS all assisted at the scene. Earlier this week, the North Spencer School Board received an update on summer facility improvement projects going on around the corporation. These included work in the Red Gym at Heritage Hills High School, which involves refinishing of the floor, lighting and bleacher renovations, and the new hand railing system. Another project is work going on at Lincoln Trail and Nancy Hanks on those schools' HVAC systems. North Spencer Superintendent Dan Sherry says everything is running smoothly with the summer construction work.
We're very hopeful that it all is finished before school starts, which would be a definite plus. The elementary schools, Lincoln Trail and Nancy Hanks, their HVAC systems are wrapping up, and so they've got their air turned back on, so they're very happy about that. So things moved through the summer very smoothly. Our projects are on time. Our buildings are getting ready for school to start, and so we're very pleased with the progress that's been made this summer.
Sherry says the building work is vital to showing people that the school system is managing its resources well.
It's very important to have our children, our teachers, our administrators, our community members see that we're being good stewards with our buildings, with our funding. Purchasing a building, building a new building is great, but maintaining that building is even more important over the long haul.
Other business from this week's meeting included setting lunch prices for this school year at the same rates as last school year and hiring new teachers, instructional assistants, and a new speech and language pathologist for the corporation. The upcoming school year for the North Spencer School Corporation is just around the corner. The first day for teachers will be on August 13th, and students will start back to school on August the 14th. Yesterday, economic development group Dubois Strong received $250,000 in funding from the United States Department of Agriculture to help businesses throughout Dubois County. The funding was awarded during a ceremony yesterday afternoon at the Center for Technology, Innovation, and Manufacturing on the Vincennes University Jasper campus. In this program, the $250,000 will be loaned to Dubois Strong from USDA Rural Development's Intermediary Relending Program, and Dubois Strong will lend that money out to area manufacturers, retailers, and other businesses. Dubois Strong Interim President Michael Cummings says the grant allows for the group to fund projects that more traditional lenders may not be willing to take on.
What this allows us to do is really partner with the traditional lenders to provide some gap financing or bridge financing on projects maybe that are too risky for their liking or maybe don't meet some of their underwriting standards. We'd be able to take those projects on and take a look at them, and hopefully we'd partner with those traditional lenders.
Cummings says he is confident that this program will be successful over the long term. Indiana State Director of USDA Rural Development, Philip Limcooler, says this money makes for a good mix of funding sources for area businesses that choose to take advantage of it.
And so it's a good private-public mix of funds, and then they can charge a higher rate, and then they make loans to entrepreneurs or any small businesses, minority businesses that are interested in looking for funding that they may not find at a bank or other financial institution.
Under the plan, Dubois Strong will have 30 years to repay the loan to USDA Rural Development at an interest rate of 1%. However, Dubois Strong is allowed to charge a higher interest rate on local businesses that it loans to if it so chooses to help the group pay the USDA loan back. Dubois County is home to 2 publicly traded corporations as well as numerous homegrown businesses born out of local entrepreneurship. The Intermediary Relending Program is the primary program for USDA Rural Development for capitalizing on revolving loan funds. Since President Obama took office, the program boasts creating or saving 20,000 jobs. Coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Evan Elrod, and Inform featuring Stacy Fisher with the Dubois County WIC program. That's all up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.